Two people have become best friends after finding out that they've been married to the same woman. Now, the two dudes in question are Thomas and Peter Sherratt. It turns out that they're both married to Karen Sherratt. I don't know how she did this, but apparently she was prosecuted for bigamy as a result, which, by the way, is freaking ridiculous. You're gonna prosecute her for bigamy? Nonetheless, she was jailed for 4 months this summer as a result of being convicted of bigamy, but the two dudes that were married to her actually ended up being really good friends. Now, let me tell you how this all went down. Karen Sherratt married Peter in 2005, but they split up a year later. 6 years later, okay, in 2012, she met Chris on a dating website and they married 7 months later. So it's kind of crazy because she wasn't really, yes, she was legally married to the first guy, but she wasn't really having a relationship with him. And even though that was the case, these two dudes got together and they were like, oh, can you believe that two-timing hoe? But she wasn't really two-timing. Just because you're married on paper doesn't mean you actually have a relationship. Obviously, I've already made my point on this story. But Erica, why don't you make your point?
So I took a really feminist stance on this. I was just kind of excited to see this type of story happen with a woman at the center.
Thank you.
And not with a man and two sad women who meet each other and find out he's backstabbing them. So yay for her.
No, I agree with you, and I don't even think the guys should feel like they've been backstabbed. I mean, again, just because you're married on paper doesn't mean you have a relationship. Robby, what do you think?
I'm waiting for the sitcom for this to come out. I just what? Then, these two guys, so you're married to her too? Yep. You want to get a drink? That was the approach that they took to this. Is hey, let's become buddies. Apparently, we're in the same marriage.
What's amazing is they got together and they're both commiserating about how terrible the relationship was, right? Which, okay, maybe the relationship was terrible, but nonetheless, I hate how our country pretends as though we're so open and free, and then we have the state getting involved in relationships and telling us who we can and can't get married to, how many people we can get married to, when we can get married. Just calm the hell down, let us live our lives, right? As long as there are 2 consenting adults, 3 consenting adults, 20 consenting adults, let them do whatever the hell it is that they want to do. So here's the question. Would you ever be open to a long-term, open relationship? So you're with someone, you love each other, but you guys are both doing the swinging thing, hanging out with other people. Erica, what do you think?
Yeah, that don't work for me. My grandmother is from the South, and she used to have this phrase, don't leave the back door open if you don't want the bugs to come in. And I feel like the idea of an open relationship, I respect it for some people. Yeah. I don't want the bugs in, doesn't work for me in my life.
No, I totally hear that. Robby?
No, it freaks me out. There would be too many weird moments, I think, where just, I don't know. I start getting really
jealous.
Oh, so jealous, and and in a weird way competitive. It'd be oh, you got her roses. Well, I got her a car, and then I'm wasting money on stupid things. But I could never do that especially a long term.
Yep.
Where you've been with them for so long. There's kind of this partnership that I would want to just be here, and not to.
Yep.
What?
That argument that if you've been together that long, that's a lot of times when people decide an open relationship is necessary because you're tired of the person.
So I like that you bring that up. So I mean, it's easy for me to say that no, I'm not open to an open relationship, but I'm in a new relationship that I'm really happy with, right? And it's new and exciting, but 10 years down the line, if it lasts that long, right? Not to say it won't. You're the best. You're the best. But you never know where you're going to be, and maybe you want to spice things up. And having an open relationship doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have an emotional tie to another person. If it's a physical thing, is that really enough to destroy a relationship? I don't know. I think it opens up a lot of really interesting questions. So I'm kind of on the fence with it. I definitely don't want it now, but who's to say whether or not I'm going to change my mind in the future, right? Don't get any ideas. Anyway, but I want to know what you guys think. Comment in the section below. Would you ever want to be in a long-term open relationship? Do you think it makes sense? Do you think it spices things up? Or do you think it just destroys relationships? And also, what are your thoughts on people getting prosecuted and convicted for things like polygamy or bigamy? I'm against it, but maybe you have a really good argument in favor of it, so I want to hear from you. Comment in the section below, and we'll see you guys soon.